Welcome to the first membership update of 2025 for the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. My name is Jennifer Charlton. I am the president of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative, and it is my hope today to share with you all of the activities and ongoings and offerings that the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative is creating for members. As you know, the mission of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative is to improve the health of newborns with or at risk for kidney disease. And we do this through multidisciplinary collaborative research, advocacy, and education. Our vision is really to reduce the global burden of kidney disease by improving neonatal kidney health. We want to promote high quality research. We want to develop and disseminate best practices. And we want to establish a consultative and educational resources for practitioners of all ranges, including those that are caring for the babies, our trainees, and our families. We value the rigorous and collaborative research. We value strong membership with networking opportunities and really aim to make this organization sustainable through collegiality, inclusiveness, transparency, efficacy, and productivity. Our story was told in publication in January 2025 through Nature Reviews Nephrology. The Neonatal Kidney Collaborative's history was outlined in this manuscript if you'd like to look at it. Our timeline is that basically we've been in existence for approximately 12 years. And we have done a lot in those 12 years. So please check out this publication. You can PubMed it and find it again in Nature Reviews Nephrology, published in January 2025. We've had a lot of achievements in the last year, and I'd like to highlight several of those on this slide. One, the RINC, our research incubator in neonatal kidney diseases, has launched several studies, including Awaken 2.0, that is going to be a much bigger, broader, more representative study into neonatal acute kidney injury with some follow-up parts of it too. We have launched a new chapter. The Australian New Zealand chapter is up and going and has been quite productive. We have an established family advisory board. The Neonatal Kidney Collaborative was very involved at the first International Neonatal Nephrology Symposium in Birmingham, Alabama in September 2024. We are working to develop a neonatal nephrology APP, not AAP, APP, Advanced Practitioner Handbook, and we've established a lot of partnerships and sponsorships. I'd like to highlight some of those partnerships and sponsorships here. Our highest platinum level is BioPorto, and our gold level, Indiana University. Our silver level includes UVA Children's, Zoroflow, the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and Children's of Alabama. And our Medical Predictive Science Corporation has also sponsored the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. These sponsorships are incredibly important to help us maintain the infrastructure and continue to grow the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. Our membership has also grown. We moved in 2025 to a paid membership platform. Currently, we have approximately 233 members and over 26 countries are represented. We have a diverse group of members, including physicians, advanced practitioner providers, also clinical support professionals, academics, some PhDs, and also families. We moved to this paid membership model because we knew we needed to strengthen the sustainability and cultivate the growth of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. We also knew people were interested in obtaining some of the content that the NKC has provided through educational resources and research opportunities. There is also a greater commitment with this paid membership foundation to interest our sponsors who are recognizing the growth and the value of our niche community. So, what do you get for being a member? You get a lot of benefits and a lot of opportunities. I'm going to highlight a couple of those here, including the awesome work that our education committee has done by building out our resource library. So, there is a number of talks and educational opportunities through this resource library, including all of the talks from INS. And these are exclusive to the members of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. I think that these can be talks that you can use as a resource. They could be talks that you give on rounds. They could be lots of different opportunities for using this resource library. Also, members get exclusive access to the rink. So, for research opportunities, this allows you to bring your own idea to recruit sites or members to participate in your own research idea. It also allows you to participate in other people's ideas and recruit patients from your own site. There is also increased opportunities within the education and advocacy committees. You can be an ad hoc reviewer for the research committee. And for our new chapters, we waived fees for the first year of their membership. There's also some very specific opportunities and benefits for trainee members. One, it's free. Two, we're preparing to welcome our new class of 6-2 crew and a new opportunity for earlier trainees, including high school students, college students, medical students into our Ureteric Buddies trainee program. There's also an opportunity, like not many, for networking and mentorship. The next thing I want to share with you is our current structure for the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. Currently, we have an executive committee. I serve as your president. I have served in this role for the last 6 months and will serve in this role for the next 18 months. We also have a past president, which is David Ashkenazi. We have a president-elect, and we have a secretary-treasurer. We also have an executive director, Megan Reagan, who serves on this executive committee. We also have a board of directors. These are all voting members who have been voted into this position. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. We have a professional advisory board, we have a family advisory board, and anyone who has served on our board of directors can move into an emeritus board position. We have 3 main committees: the research committee, the education committee, and the advocacy committee. We also had been working with the structure of a resource development work group, which included sponsorships, grants, and fundraising. And then, as I have already mentioned, we have the ability to have chapters. Our first and flagship chapter is our Australia and New Zealand chapter. These are some of the members of each of these boards. So, as I have told you, I serve as the president for the next 18 months. Dave Saluski serves as the president-elect. David Ashkenazi serves as the past president. And Matt Harrer is currently our secretary-treasurer. Along with myself, Dave and David are both nephrologists, and Matt balances us out as a neonatologist. Megan Reagan serves as our executive director. So we have developed a new email address, which I will also talk about a little bit later, that is the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative at gmail.edu. So any questions, please don't hesitate to email us at that email address. Our board members include a balanced cadre of neonatologists and nephrologists. The orange circles or halos above these wonderful, productive people on our board are our neonatologists. The teal colored halos are our nephrologists. And then we also have an opportunity for anyone interested to potentially be nominated or nominate themselves for board membership. I will talk a little bit more about this as we move through these slides. And then lastly, we have an emeritus board membership. Carolyn Abbott Ball, Marin Mahan, Ann Ball, and Trent Tipple all serve on this emeritus board. At the beginning of this year, in January 2025, we had our in-person board meeting, which was held at the University of Virginia. And our neonatal kidney collaborative is now at 2025, 11 years old. At this in-person board meeting, which was held over 1.5 days, several of our board members participated in giving a pediatric grand rounds entitled Improving Neonatal Kidney Health with Multidisciplinary Collaboration, Tales and Lessons from the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. So this built on that review article that was published in early 2025, and each of the board members shared a bit about some of the roles that they've played and how this collaborative has been incredibly important, and that one of the incredible strengths of this collaborative is the multidisciplinary ness that it is. The work between neonatologists and intensivists alongside of pediatric nephrologists is a unique collaborative. It's also very unique at how strongly we care for our mentees. And those have been embedded in the culture and baked into the culture by our initial president, Dr. Ashkenazi. So I want to share with you our strategic plan that was developed in 2023 with 4 goals. And each of these goals during our in-person board meeting was reevaluated, and we worked to align our next year's work with advancing these goals. So goal number 1 was to advance the understanding in neonatal nephrology in the neonatal nephrology field. Goal number 2 was for you, the membership. Goal number 2 was really to enrich and enhance and add value to this paying membership that you guys are participating in. Goal number 3 is developing a sustainable infrastructure for the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative to succeed. It is incredibly important that we lay this groundwork, that we lay this infrastructure so that 10, 20, 30 years from now, we are continuing to grow and support the mission of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. And then our 4th goal is to support the growth and development of our members. We want to make sure you guys have opportunities to grow and develop within this collaborative. So one of the objectives of the 2025 face-to-face board meeting was to reevaluate our infrastructure and our how our board works and what we need committee-wise. So one of the things that the board has decided to propose to the membership and to potentially change in the bylaws upcoming at the end of the summer is to disassociate the secretary and the treasurer roles into 2 separate roles. These 2 separate roles of secretary and treasurer will oversee 2 new committee structures. So the Resource Development Task Force was meant to be a temporary work group. That work group has now blended into what we're calling a financial committee that will oversee sponsorship, the budget, grants, fundraising, basically anything under the umbrella of finances. The second committee that we developed during our face-to-face meeting was the membership committee. This membership committee is going to focus on engaging our members, communication with our members, website development, which is a very big part of our task in the next year. And the membership committee will be overseen by the secretary in this infrastructure. We hope to, over time, develop the infrastructure for future chapters also. So the next section of this update includes our committee updates. We want to share with you what our three main committees have been up to, and we want to make sure that you have the resources to contact these committees and become engaged. So our education committee is, gotta move my face so you can see Marissa. The education committee is led by neonatologist Heidi Steflik at the Medical University of South Carolina and Marissa DeFreitas, a pediatric nephrologist at the University of Miami. Many of their objectives and activities focus around the goal number one of advancing the understanding of the neonatal nephrology field. They have been incredibly busy. They have articles of the month. The articles of the month are articles that are summarized by our members and organized by Joe Dura and Erin Rademacher. These two ladies have worked very hard to make sure that we have an article each month that has been summarized either in words or maybe in a graphic abstract. Please check out the article of the month on the website under the Education Committee tab. We have a huge growing resource library that is run by Kara Short and Catherine Vincent. Both of these lovely ladies are nurse practitioners, one at UAB, one at MUSC, and these ladies have worked incredibly hard to get this resource library up and going. Not only does it have 40 talks from the INS meeting in 2014, but also a number of other fantastic resources for education. Next, we have a structured mentorship program for both our 6'2 crew and our Ureteric buddies. So the Ureteric buddies are the more undifferentiated group of trainees, including high school students, undergraduates, medical students. Our 6'2 crew is more differentiated into pediatric residents and fellows. This group is led by our recently graduated 6'2 crew member, Sammy Schwartz and Morgan Beebe. We also will continue to have our yearly educational session. Look out for save the dates. Usually this session is in October. Kara Beck, another 6'2 graduating member, is leading the effort for this session this year. We also have a developing professional development series led by Monta Flora. And we're creating a spreadsheet of a speakers list. So we have a list of speakers that allows our membership to access this list, and it allows for members to put their names on this list to be recruited to give grand rounds, divisional education talks, or talks for national or international meetings. If you are interested in learning more about the Education Committee or any of its activities, please reach out to the co-chairs, Marissa or Heidi. Also, to let you know, I have put in these icons of a camera. Yeah, I know most of our cameras are iPhones at this point, but this is an old school camera. And this icon will let you know that to take a picture of this slide. The slides will be available in the future. The video will be available, but the camera icons are meant to be take a picture so that you can have email addresses or have QR codes for accessing some of this information. Our next committee, again, I gotta move my face. Our next committee is led by Kat Gist and Michelle Starr. This is the research committee. The main goal of our research committee one of the goals is to enrich the value of the NKC membership. The committee has had many activities, including almond secondaries. If you're unfamiliar, please go to the website. Almond is a group of secondary analyses of the peanut trial, which was a randomized controlled trial of erythropoietin for neurocognitive outcomes, combined with the repair trial, which was kidney outcomes from the peanut trial. The NKC has access to this publicly available data set that we have been able to mine the combined peanut and repaired studies to come up with secondary studies that we have named almond. There will be a request for applications for the next round of proposals. If you're interested in doing a proposal for a secondary, please check out the website. You can also email Kat or Michelle about this opportunity. Secondly, the research committee has developed the RINC, which is the research incubator for neonatal kidney disease, which is an opportunity for multidisciplinary research to occur. I will explain a little bit more about what this is on the next slide. There will also be an RFA that is going to come out for Catalyst grants. We obtained Burroughs Wellcome Fund funding, or a Burroughs Wellcome Fund award, to distribute grants to our members to catalyze their research into bigger granting opportunities. So please be on the lookout for that RFA that will come out of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. And this is a resource that is only offered to members. The research committee is also developing an article about essential articles in neonatal nephrology. You should have received in our newsletter a request to fill out a survey or form to vote for what you think are the most essential articles in neonatal nephrology. The research committee is a closed committee. The research committee does request for new members on a open basis, usually once a year. But you can participate in the research committee in other ways. One, you can be an ad hoc reviewer. So they have a whole bench of members of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative that serve as reviewers for protocols, for abstracts, for manuscripts. You can also participate in the RINC. You can submit your ideas for a study. You can gather data for approved studies. And so a little bit more about the RINC. Here are 2 QR codes that I hope you will take pictures of and use. The RINC is a multidisciplinary research consortium that seeks to foster and expand continued research and collaboration and mentorship within the space of neonatal kidney disease. We have had several RINC meetings. The first was in November 2024, I believe. No, 2023. The next one was at PAS. The last one was at PAS in 2025. Our next meeting is going to be in the fall of 2025. It's going to be at the Cincinnati AKI meeting. So your first QR code on the right is a QR code that will take you to registration for this meeting. The second QR code on the right-hand side of the screen is for the rink registration. These two meetings are independent, but are housed together to reduce travel and expense and to extend the resources that we have for these meetings. We should be able to have rink recaps for those that were not able to attend. And our next, our the PAS meeting has been where we have done multiple rink meetings in the past. And so the following or standing rink meeting has been at PAS, and the rink meeting precedes the PAS meeting. This really, we hope, this opportunity to participate in rank, really, we hope that it is a very rich resource for members of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. So again, you see that camera. If you're interested in research activities, please reach out to Michelle Starr or Kat Gist. Here are their emails. Committee number 3 is our advocacy committee. It is run by Kara Slagle at Indiana University and Kimberly Reedy at Montefiore. They have a lot of goals and a lot of activities. I think that most of their goals or their activities follow under the goal of advancing the understanding of neonatal nephrology. And also, I feel like they are very much supporting the growth and development of members. So this group has a lot of activities. One, they have been the meeting makers. They are submitting sessions for neonatal nephrology content to national and international meetings. This is helping advance the understanding of the neonatal nephrology field. They're looking out for meetings that potentially OBGYNs participate in. They're looking out for meetings that pediatricians might go to. That speakers list will be very helpful for them to fill the content for these sessions. So if you have an idea, please reach out to Kara or Kim for either meetings that maybe you attend that would be good for us to target, or if you are interested in being on our speakers list, we can get you connected to that. The advocacy group also published a paper, Best Practices. These are kidney metrics for different types of neonatal studies. So if you're a neonatologist or an intensivist, please check out this paper. We hope that you can advocate for kidney outcomes into these papers or into these studies by using this paper to say, look, you can gather kidney outcomes in lots of different ways. The advocacy committee is also writing letters to the editor on articles that don't include kidney outcomes to share the importance of including kidney content into studies as these studies are being developed. They are also working on a response for information requested by the FDA on formulas. And these response letters could come from or could be developed by either the FDA, the NIH. There's lots of different federal government levels that will reach out for information. And so this also goes to that goal of advancing understanding in the neonatal nephrology field space, that we want to be able to advocate for neonatal nephrology, for a neonatal nephrology perspective in lots of different areas. So if you're interested in any of the advocacy activities, please reach out to Kim and Kara, and their emails are listed here. The next committee I want to talk about is the Financial Committee, and this is led by our treasurer, Matt Harrer, in great support from our previous leader of the Resource Development Work Group, Kara Slagle. The committee activities include industry sponsorship, so all of those industry partners that I shared with you before were recruited by Kara and the efforts of the Resource Development Work Group. The financial committee has been working on fundraising activities. One such fundraising activity is kind of a fun one. The Neonatal Kidney Collaborative was able to recruit Shenandoah Joe's, which is a local coffee roaster here in Charlottesville, to make a neonatal kidney collaborative roast. So this bag of beans is a fundraiser. Proceeds from all of a portion of the proceeds from this NKC roast come back to the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative to support ongoing efforts to build our infrastructure and advance our mission. So it was fun as president of the NKC to go to Shenandoah Joe's and share with them the connection between caffeine and kidneys. And so if you use this QR code, you can find the beans that are on sale at Shenandoah Joe's website. They will ship them directly to you, and you'll also see a little blurb about the connection of caffeine and kidneys. The financial committee also works on grant submissions. In the works in the future, we hope to be able to apply for and support grants, in particular, potentially in the future, PCORI submissions. And then lastly, the committee is really working on our budget and financial, uh, all kinds of financial opportunities. The membership committee is our newest committee. And the membership committee is technically under the secretary, which Matt serves as at this point. However, he has had a lot of help with one of these tasks. We developed a website task force that's led by Shaina Menon, pediatric nephrologist at Stanford University, to help update and revamp our website. So our website has been under the has been hosted by the University of Alabama at Birmingham. We are moving towards an independent way of hosting our website, and we hope that this is going to really improve our communication with our members, our ability for members to pay dues, and several other great opportunities within the spectrum of this new website. The other activities of this committee for membership will include outreach, engagement, and communications. So look forward to opportunities to interact with this committee. And this committee really focuses on goal number 3, to develop the sustainable infrastructure for the NKC to succeed. All right, a little bit about our first inaugural chapter. So our Australian and New Zealand chapter is led by co-chairs, Dr. Staub, who is a neonatologist, and Dr. Forbes, who is a nephrologist, with a lot of support and help from one of our board members, Alison Kent, who is a neonatologist. The Australian New Zealand chapter has many activities. We recognize the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative recognizes that if we're going to be a worldwide force, we have to have some ability to be flexible within either geographic regions or different areas of the world. And what I mean by that is that advocacy may not look the same in the United States as it does in Australia or as it might in Japan. There are lots of different nuances to how we educate or how we advocate or even how we do research in different parts of the world. And so establishing these chapters is really important to reach our membership where they are and within their framework. And so the activities of the Australia New Zealand chapter have been establishing state representatives. They have taken on a couple of the articles of the month. They're participating, their trainees are participating in the 6-2 crew and Euroteric buddies. And actually, Tom Forbes was one of the leads on developing the Euroteric buddies proposal. They also are going to do virtual education sessions. They have advocacy initiatives and also are participating in research in both Awaken 2.0 and other more local projects. So there are many changes that are coming up and many announcements that I want to make. Number one, we're going to be updating the bylaws. Our bylaws are several years old. They do not, all of the bylaws that we created when they were created were done with the infrastructure that we have. And as we grow and as we expand, we want to make sure that we are abiding by our bylaws and updating them as needed. So, goal number, this updating the bylaws really does come back to the goal of developing the sustainable infrastructure for the NKC. I want to thank David Ashkenazi with my whole heart. He has been the lead on updating the bylaws, and this has been a huge effort to go through and make sure that everything aligns with what aligns so that we can accomplish our mission. Some of the big high level changes that will be included in the bylaws are number one, the addition of a secretary. So Matt Harris serves right now as our secretary treasurer. He will move into a treasurer only role if the bylaws are approved, and we will plan to elect a secretary. Also, we would like to update the succession plan to presidency. So currently, our bylaws state that the secretary treasurer, when they are elected, will serve as 2 years, then move into president-elect for 2 years, then 2 years as president, and then 2 years as past president. We recognize that for some of our members, serving in this kind of role for 8 years might seem exhausting, challenging, and too high of a bar to set. So we're planning to separate the secretary and treasurer roles from that succession. So if you plan to want to lead the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative organization, you would serve on the board for at least a minimum of 2 years, and then could be elected to the executive committee through the president-elect position. The secretary and treasurer both serve on the executive committee. We also are creating that financial and membership committees. There are many other pieces and parts of the bylaws that have been incorporated, and all of those will be available to our membership before we vote on those changes. The next announcement is that we have open board positions. There will be a nomination position for this open board position coming soon. The nominations for these board positions will begin on July 1st, and they will go until our nominations will go until August. On August 5th, when the board meets, the panel will be selected by the board. So any member in good standing can nominate themselves, or they can be nominated by someone for these potential positions. The membership will vote between August 6th and August 22nd for both board seats, for our secretary position, and for our bylaw changes. It is very important that all members We hope that all members will vote. We hope they will, and we will allow them to vote one time. So voting will close on August 22nd, and we will share with you after that who our new board members are, who our secretary is, and if the bylaws are accepted. Other changes and announcements. These go to our goal of advancing understanding in the neonatal nephrology space. Our opportunities for the ureteric buds and 6-2 crew members are ongoing. We will announce the new classes of these crew members soon. We are undergoing major website changes and including more social media reach. I'd like to share with you also, if you missed this in the newsletters, a few of our NKC awards. This was a new initiative that we adopted this year. And it's really to recognize the hard work that has been put into advancing the field of neonatal nephrology and advancing the mission of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative. The first award we gave was the Founders Award to David Ashkenazi. The second awards that we gave were to our committee member service awards. So the advocacy committee co-chairs nominated two members from each of their committees, and the emeritus board members voted for these nominees. And I'd like to highlight these service awards. The advocacy committee awarded these awards to Namrata and Arwa. The education committee acknowledged Joe and Aaron's hard work on the article of the months. And the research committee nominated China and Kat for these awards. We also acknowledged the hard work of our board members that had moved into the emeritus role positions. So Maroon, Carolyn, Trent, and Ambal, thank you very much for helping create an environment of collegiality, inclusiveness, transparency, hard work, and a culture of lifting up our trainees and our junior members. Speaking of trainees and junior members, we awarded 2 travel awards this year to the PAS meeting. These awards came from trainees that submitted an application using their PAS abstract. These applications were then reviewed by our emeritus board members, and Shalina and Sage were picked as our top 2 trainee awards. We hope to continue this program of awards each year. We hope to continue to have travel awards for our trainees. And so I hope that you will encourage your trainees to apply for these awards in the future. All right, I'm almost done. We're getting close to the end, guys. Hang in there. Please take a picture of this slide also. If you are interested in any of the following components of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative, please reach out to the right person. Marissa and Heidi and all things education, Michelle and Kat for all things research, Kim and Kara for all things advocacy, Matt for all things financial, David Ashkenazi for the Family Advisory Board. For website activities, please reach out to Shina. And if you're interested in rink activities, I will also include David Saluski for reaching out to him. And if there's any questions or concerns, you can also reach me directly at this email address. So next steps, where do we go from here? We are going to continue membership dues. Those will renew at the start of each calendar year. We hope to have our new website in place to be able to accept those dues and to be able to communicate with you through the website. We hope you will talk to your trainees and get them involved. Advocate for getting them involved early. We now have structured mentorship programs for any stage of trainees. And we want to recruit and retain these trainees very early in their stages of education. We want you to participate in the upcoming vote for our bylaws and our board nominations. And we hope you'll participate in the committee's ongoing activities. Again, use those email addresses from the slide before to engage the leadership of each of these committees. Our website is easy to remember, babykidney.org. It has tons of content on it. If you have any trouble logging in to get behind the firewall to access all of the things that you can access as a member, please reach out to us. Please follow us on X or Twitter or whatever it's called. We also have a Blue Sky account. Lastly, I want to thank Megan Reagan for all of her help with communicating with all of our members. If you have not been receiving emails from the Baby Kidney Gmail account, please make sure that you have added Neonatal Kidney Collaborative at gmail.com to your contact list. If you have any problems accessing that email address or getting emails from us or Zoom links from us, please contact Megan at her own email address if you continue to have issues. We also are sending out Zoom links for committee meetings and for educational opportunities through our own Neonatal Kidney Collaborative Zoom account. If you have any issues with that, please reach out to me. My administrative assistant, Rhonda Lawhorn, is also helping us with that portion of our activities. I want to thank I want to thank all of our board members, all of our families, Megan Reagan, and anyone else that I might have forgotten for making this first 6 months of my presidency an awesome and exciting opportunity. I hope to serve the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative's membership as best as I can over the next 18 months. We will plan to have intermittent updates, but again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you very much for staying until the very end, and thank you for being a member of the Neonatal Kidney Collaborative.